Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum friends and subscribers. This is Mahmoud Sheikh, and in this video I'm gonna show you how to send a single message to a multiple users, multiple clients or multiple friends. Okay, here you can see if I type hello friend, and if I select if I click this button, all the checkboxes will get selected and the message, say a single message will be sent to all the friends. Okay, if I click on send, here you can see right now I don't have any records in my database. If I click on message table, see a single message has been sent to all my friends ID. These are the friends ID which I have stored here inside my table called friends. Here you can see I have sent a single message to all these friends. Those are stored inside my database. This kind of functionality is very much useful when you are sending a single message to your clients, to your friends, message or SMS. Okay, you can use this kind of functionality in your projects. So in this video I'll be going to show you how to create this using PHP Codeigniter. First of all, you need to download a Codeigniter framework from the internet. Here I have already downloaded it. Here you can see I have a version of 2.2.6. You can easily download it from the internet. Once you download it, you need to paste it in your C drive. Inside C drive, you will have a XAMPP folder and then htdocs, and here you need to paste your Codeigniter project folder and rename it with whatever name you want. I have given it a name as tutorial, and now you need to import this tutorial folder in your text editor. Here I have opened my editor and I have imported my Codeigniter folder, to which I had given a name as tutorial. I have imported this inside my editor. First, you need to create a view file for this to display this kind of form. To create a view file, you need to go to view, right click on views and click on new file. Give it a name, whatever you want. I have given it a name as insert multiple records. Here I have already created a form, which you can see here. This small module is a JavaScript code. This function allows us to select all these checkboxes when user click on this select button, and see, if I click on select, all the checkboxes will get selected, and when I click on deselect, all the checkboxes will get deselected. To achieve this kind of functionality, I have written down this code, and this function will execute it by using this button. On the command of onClick function, when a user click on this button, this function do this which I have written here will get executed, and all the checkboxes will then get checked. Okay, I have done a separate movie on this topic, and I have uploaded it in my channel. The name of this tutorial is how to check or uncheck all the checkboxes by clicking a single button. If you want, you can view that video also. I have explained in detail in that video. Okay, then you need to create a form by using Codeigniter form helpers. Here I have mentioned the name of the function inside the controller. This welcome is our controller and message is our function inside welcome controller. And then I have taken a text area to write the message, and then form submit button to send the message, and this one is for displaying errors. This one is also for displaying errors. If none of the checkbox will get selected, then it will throw a error message. And this one is for select and deselect button. Okay, before everything, I just want to tell you, you need to, before starting your project, before writing this form, you need to make some adjustment with your config folder. You need to go to your config folder. Inside config folder, you will get an auto load file. Click on this file. Here inside autoload.php, inside libraries, auto load libraries. You need to load few libraries. Since we are dealing with the databases here, that's why you should use a database library, and we are also dealing with the form validation. That's why you also need to use form validation. Along with these libraries, you also need to use helpers. This for URL helper and form helpers. If you didn't return these helpers and libraries inside your autoload file, it will show you an error. Your project won't work properly. Okay, so be sure that you have used all these libraries and helpers inside your autoload. And apart from that, there is one more file which is called as database.php. Here you need to set all your settings, all your database configuration settings, like your local host IP address, that is localhost 127. You can use either localhost or IP address like 127.0.0.1, or username, root, and password. I haven't given any password for my database, that's why I have not entered anything for my password field. And then database, I have a database with a name called sample charts. Okay, once you've done all these configuration settings, then you need to come to your view file, write this code what I have written here, then come to welcome controller. Okay, here first of all, once the form has been created, we need to run our project. Okay, here you can see right now I don't have fetched students, sorry, I haven't fetched my friends records from the database. Here you can see I have friends here in this table. I have stored some records, and these records I'll be displaying here on this table. Okay, so to do that, you need to write a function inside your model, because model is a place where you will write the code for interacting with your database. Okay, so to create a model, you need to go to models and then right click and click on new file. It will ask you to give a name for your file. Give whatever name you want, but make it as smaller letters. Okay, your file name starts with the smaller letters for model. And once your file is created, then write this code, and inside this you need to write a function to get your friends records from the database. Public function get friends. Okay, now I will write a query $this db of get trivial friends. Now you need to run an if condition, where you have to check whether you have number of records in your database or not. In your table tbl friends, you have any records or not. Here we will be checking with that dollar query of num rows. Here we are checking whether we have record in our table tbl friends greater than 0 or not. If we don't have any records, then it will return 0, and if it has the records in the table, then it will return dollar query of result. Okay, now this function is done. This function will return us the records that are present in our friends table, and here we need to call that function. So in order to call the function that has been written inside our model, we need to call the model first. Dollar this load model, then queries, because queries is our model name. Okay, now we need to call the function that we have written inside our queries. Dollar friend equals to dollar this queries, and then this function. Copy this function and paste it here, and this object will hold the data that is coming from the databases. Let's just check it once for better understanding. Copy Okay. Print array. Now copy this and paste it here. Okay, now it will return us the data, return us this friends data. Okay, now refresh. Okay, now you can see since I have 4 friends inside my table, that's why it's returning all those 4 records. Okay, now let's delete this, and now we have to pass this inside to our view. Copy, paste. Okay, now we have successfully fetched the records of our friends, and we have passed those records to our insert multiple records view. And now since we have sent or passed these records to our view, we need to go to our view, and here we need to type in our PHP code to display the details of our friends inside our view. So, PHP if count of this friends, copy, if this friend holds some values, then okay, now and if then else. Okay, now we need to run a for each loop. For each friends, copy, paste here as paste again. For each friend, HP and for each. Okay, for each friend we need to display them using tr. Okay, tr, then input type checkbox, name is friend id. We need to pass an array of our users or friends, then value PHP echo of friend, copy friend of id. Okay, we are linking our friend's id, this friend id, to our checkboxes. Okay, very soon you will come to know. Now then this has to be inside a td. Okay, next is we need to create one more td. Inside this again we need to copy this and paste it here, friend, and we need to change it as friend name. Okay, here we will be displaying the name of the friend. Okay. Now if we don't have any records in our database, then also we have to return no records found. Save it. Okay, now let's come to our project and refresh. Okay, now you can see all the records are coming from the database and displaying here on the page. Okay, here we are passing friends of id as an array. We have taken name equals to friend of id of array because we are choosing or we are selecting multiple records here. If I select this one, 4 records will get selected. That means we are sending the IDs of these records. Let me show you. If I right click on this checkbox and click on inspect, you can see this checkbox contains or refers the value of 1, which is the ID of this user or this person. If I right click on this and if I click on inspect, see this checkbox refers to the value or the ID of 2, which is this Pooja's friend ID here. Okay, so let's close this. Okay, so we are sending multiple records or the IDs, uh, friend IDs using an array. Here you can see using an array we are sending multiple records. Okay, so we are posting the IDs of multiple friends. That's why we have taken as an array. And value field, which I have shown you just now, this value is been attached. This value means the ID is been attached to this checkbox. Okay, now we need to go to our controller and here we need to write our function name, which we have mentioned here. You can see message, copy, come here, public function is the message function name, and then here you need to write some validations. Dollar this form validation, then set rules as message, comma, message, comma, required. Okay, again copy this. We are setting the rules for our input. Then friend ID, recipients. Okay, so we have to first set the rules. Here, while setting the rules, you just need to keep it in your mind that this labels, message and friend IDs should be equal to the names we have given to those text areas uh, and buttons and checkboxes. Okay, here you can see for the checkbox I had given friend ID as a name, so the same name you have to refer here, and for text area I had given a name as message, so the same name has to be referred here. And now just copy this. Okay, now we need to type in if condition, if else echo form validation errors. Okay, if user has not entered any data in their text area and he has not checked the checkbox, then I will be displaying the errors. If dollar this validation form validation run, if user has entered all the fields, if user has entered this text area and if user has checked one of the checkbox, then I will display go success, else I will display the validation errors. Okay, let's check it once. Now refresh. Okay, now I will not enter anything in this text area and I will not select any of the checkbox, and I just simply click on the send button. It's showing me message field is required, recipient field is required. Okay, now till now everything is working fine, and now we need to take the data from our form, goes to this input post. Okay, this statement will return all the data that has been entered inside this form, or with this data and the IDs of them of all these users or friends. Okay, let me just print this out. Echo copy paste exit print r copy paste. Okay, now let's check. Let me enter hello, select all these checkboxes, and if I click on send, now they're showing me message as hello, and these are the IDs of all my friend names. Their IDs, or these actually this ID is returning here because I have given friend ID here as an array, and sorry, here I have given friend of ID. I have attached IDs of these users, ID of these users, to this checkbox. That's why it's returning all the IDs, because these IDs only will be storing inside in our message table. Inside our message table will be storing these IDs. Okay, so you okay, let me first truncate this table. Truncate table table messages. Okay, right now I don't have any records in my table. Okay, but this the moment I have written everything here, and if I click on send, the details will get saved inside my database, but it will not happen because here we need to get rid of this submit. So to remove this submit, you need to type unset color data of submit. Okay, now if I refresh, this submit will get away from this data. Okay, now this much data I have to save inside my database. Okay, so just delete this and dollar this load model. We need to call our model now, queries, and inside we need to create one function, this queries of save message, and to this message we have to pass our data. We have to this function we have to pass our data, whatever data the user is going to enter in their form. This data we need to pass to this function, and we have to create this function inside our queries. Public function. Okay, now we need to write a for each loop for each of this data. Friend ID as dollar friend ID record. We need to create a record array, inside array friend ID. We need to pass the friend ID comma message dollar data of message. Okay, so this data variable contains all the data that the user is entering inside the form. And since this data will be in the form of array, so that's why we are passing it inside the for each loop to one by one insert each record into database dollar this db. Now we have to insert this data inside our database table tbl messages comma this. We have to pass this record array, and then we have to increment the first. We need to set I equals to 0, and then we need to increment this array by 1. Okay, now go to our page, refresh. Let's say hello friends, check all the checkboxes, then click on send. Okay, now let's come. Now we don't have any data in our database tbl message. Now if I click on tbl message, now it will all the records, all the message have been saved, which I have sent for my friends. If I type in some other message like hello friends again, and if I check on this, I will select only 3 checkboxes, and if I click on send, now let's check. Okay, now only 3 messages, now the message has been sent to only 3 friends because I haven't selected this friend. Okay, so this is how you can send a single message to multiple users. Okay, this kind of functionality will be very useful when you are building an application where you need to send a message to your friends, where you need to create a module, where you need to send SMS to your friends, to your clients. Okay, I hope you understand I hope you understand this concept behind this functionality. And if you like this video, subscribe to my channel and click on like button. I will see you in my next video. Thanks for watching.